These are general readings, therefore the energy is not limited to sun sign only. The readings may resonate with you if any of your personal planets are in water signs, which can be verified by checking your natal birth chart. A choice of personalised readings are offered in exchange for a moderate fee. Please visit the website services pages and follow the instructions. My name is Dee. I am tuning into your energy frequencies from Mission Beach, Australia. Thank you for taking the time to connect. In benefiting from the empowering guidance of the messages, please do pay this forward and share with others. Continue supporting the way showers, star seeds and the pioneers who devote all of their energy into assisting humanity to navigate the new earth energies and align with the 5D consciousness. Your generous donations will ensure the great work continues to be shared and accessed freely. Hello, water signs. This first card spread is for all of you, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. And then after this spread, I will pull extra cards for the individual signs. The first thing I'm noticing here is we have 3 air sign court cards. So wondering if you are dealing with an air sign, which would be a Gemini, Libra or an Aquarian. If not, this could be a period in which you are delving to get to the truth about something or someone, a situation. Could be also wielding the sword of truth and cutting people out of your life. The first card pulled for this spread was the High Priestess of Earth. And the High Priestess of Earth symbolises all things of the physical world, your body of Earth and the things that you surround yourself with. So now is the time to think about your health and to take care of your health. So you need to eat well and get plenty of rest. Always think of balance. So a balance of work, rest and play in order to maintain good health and to connect to the power of the earth by walking barefoot. This will be very grounding. So we've just had a big full moon in 0 degrees of Leo on the 20th or the 21st of January, depending on where you are in the world. And that was a full moon eclipse, and with it was bringing in new beginnings. So even if this is exciting new beginnings for you, make sure that you get grounded and just go with the flow with these new beginnings, because sometimes new beginnings can take a while and can initially have a bit of upheaval with them. So whether you're excited or feeling a bit chaotic, get out there and walk on the grass and connect with ground, the earth, to really get grounded with this. I also have the Garden and the Gate card here from the Energy Oracles. So really, in a way, that's a bit more of an enforcement to get out into that garden. But generally, the Garden and the Gate card is saying that you have the key to unlock that gate in the garden and walk into new opportunities. We have our first of the air court cards here with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is very much, she'll cut you. She will cut you if you're not doing the right thing or you're not telling the truth. The Queen of Swords will wield that sword and she'll cut you out, or she will be so truthful with her feelings and thoughts that she could literally cut you to shreds with her tongue. So if this isn't representing somebody else and it is an aspect of you, perhaps you're the one who's wanting to get to the truth of something, or you're getting clarity, strong intuition and clarity about what you need to do in your life at this point, and you're going to do it no matter who's in the way. So if there's people in the way trying to block you, they better watch out, because you're wielding that sword of truth. And water signs, it's looking like you've got the confidence and the power to do just this now. We have in the Wisdom of Oracle cards the card of confidence, and from the Energy Oracle we've got the Magician and the Mirror. So you are being guided to walk tall with confidence now, knowing that you have the power and the energy with you to accomplish whatever it is that you're wanting to do. The Magician is the card of knowing and using your true power. It represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. This is a highly beneficial card, and it's telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin and the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of the yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror that stands behind the magician is reflecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or to dismiss the true power that you have. You are being put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you now are able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. Now, it is likely that you have reached this point after some sort of loss seen in the Five of Cups. But with the Five of Cups, even though there may be disappointment and regret and maybe even remorse on your part, We must remember that while 3 cups have been spilled, 2 still remain standing. So we must take those 2 cups, what's been left behind, and use it to create the new. Could it be that your perceived loss is actually a blessing in disguise? Perhaps you have discovered some truth about someone or a situation in which, had it panned out as you had been hoping, could have led to something not so positive. Maybe you have actually dodged a bullet. For there is some hostilities seen here in the cards. The card of beauty is here, and it reminds us that every rose has its thorns. This symbol reminds you that beauty is never perfect, just as the beautiful experiences you have will not be perfect forever. When this symbol appears, it's a sign that beauty is all around you, and you're asked to keep a positive attitude and expect wonderful things, and they will come to you. Just as the sun rises every morning, bringing new beginnings and great possibilities for creativity. Draw in the light of the sun and allow it to help you to create your new beginnings or to get a new project up off the ground. We have another court card here. The Page of Swords could represent a child, something being said with clarity and truth that may even come across as sounding somewhat harsh. If it is neither of these things, then perhaps it is someone spying on you. Have you got people looking over your shoulder wondering what you are up to? With the hostilities card, we have the card of movement and the Page of Cups, representing that the possible hostilities is with an intimate partner. Being cups, it's emotional, someone close to you, someone younger, being a page. Movement in this area. Regardless of these hostilities, however, you're aware that there are adjacent possibilities open to you. And it could involve family and an inheritance, or specifically financial, money related to work. And these cards are here with the card of self-worth. We had confidence above it. So if you are not already feeling like your self-worth and self-esteem is soaring right now, then the cards are guiding you to build on your self-worth and confidence. There is definitely work to be done here, and it could be in connection with a caring connection, a relationship, and finances, as they both often come hand in hand together. Perhaps finances have been strained within your relationship, and it's been creating issues and problems within the relationship. But you're guided here to take a playful approach to this. Maybe you just need to stand back for a little bit and go out and have some fun. Doesn't even have to cost anything. But just to spend some quality together, time together in playfulness, to take your mind off any potential worries or concerns to do with work or finances or both. The first chakra energy card reinforces this theme, and it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues related to stability and security. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, these challenges are beginning to be resolved at this time. You have got the strength and personal stability now, and you are capable of taking action and moving forward on your path. So allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security now and always. The card of understanding is here, and it symbolises that you have a deep and true comprehension now of something or someone. And it's here with the King of Swords. Once again, another reinforcement of this understanding, because the King of Swords is an intellectual, and he's strong about truth again. That comes up. He's also the third of our court cards in this spread. Another air sign. So clarity of thought, knowing the truth, and comprehending and understanding something or someone. To truly have an understanding of something, it comes through more than having just read something or to hear something. You're being asked to keep an open mind and heart, and to allow yourself to absorb the information as you receive it. Be open to the wisdom that can come only with time, patience, and perspective. Try to get outside of yourself and imagine what it is like to walk in someone else's shoes. To understand is to have power. You have a sense of true fulfillment at foot here, due to you having made a decision about valuing yourself. The door to value is related more so to work and career, even if that means being a homemaker. If you value yourself, only then will you feel valued by others. Do you know what your true worth and value is, water sign? Do the people that you associate with value the same things you do? In keeping with the theme of truth here, Do you value truth and honesty? Is truth and honesty valued and respected among those you associate with? Unfortunately, the social engineers have encouraged society to accept and tolerate liars and bullshitters, to the point in which the masses now believe and think that lying and bullshitting is perfectly normal and perfectly fine. Worse still, they think lying and bullshit is allowed without consequence. Universal law and their own conscience, however, will deal them a blow of harsh reality. To align with the fifth dimensional frequency is to stop lying to oneself, stop lying to one another, and stop accepting and tolerating lying and bullshit from others. In being a water sign or having a lot of water in your chart, you are blessed with strong intuition. The moon is here, and this is a sign that you must trust your gut. Your instincts and intuition will lead the way through the darkness. When this symbol appears as your guide, you know that it is necessary to look beyond the obvious and to know the truth of things. Sometimes people will say one thing and you have a weird feeling that they mean something else altogether. You have this power, and you are being asked to use it now. Take action in this way. For you have the Nine of Pentacles here, and this is a sign of independence. The Nine of Pentacles stands alone in her own power. It is irrelevant what everybody else thinks and does. A lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by the majority. So be prepared to stand alone in your values, water signs, and be the purveyor of truth and honesty and command that from others. This concludes the general reading for the water signs. Individual readings for each sign are next, starting with Cancer. The moon nodes are now in Cancer and Capricorn. During the next 17 months, the solar and lunar eclipses will be occurring in these two signs. Hold on to your hat, Cancer. With the North Node in your sign and the South Node in Capricorn, your opposite sign, with Pluto and Saturn, big life changes are bound to occur. All that which isn't in alignment with your destiny will be eclipsed out during the course of the next few years and during the eclipse seasons. The Five of Cups is in your past position now, Cancer. So whatever disappointment you've had in the past, whatever it was that caused 3 cups to spill but leave 2 remaining, it's in the past now. So you need to turn your back around and look at the 2 cups that remain standing and move forward. In the present position, we've got the 4 of Wands. So this can be a wedding, engagement, some form of celebration around this time for you. Now, Cancer, in your future position, we've got the 4 of Cups. And this is a card of, can be apathy or boredom. But look there, we've got 3 cups standing. Remember in the 5 of Cups, we had 3 cups that had fallen over. Well, now the 4 cups, it's like it's done a circle and it's come back again. Those 3 cups are back there again. And you're being offered another one, but you are rejecting it. You're not looking at it. Now, I remember that being a future card, the future is not cast in stone and we can change the future. We're creating the future in the moment now. So I would be focusing very strongly about what you're thinking and what you're doing at the moment, because I pulled a clarifier on to see what area of your life that this could be involving, and what come out is the 10 of Swords. We never want to see the 10 of Swords in a future position. Often if you have a 10 of any of the suits, it's the ending of a cycle, the ending of something. But if it's in a future position and that's yet to come, then we want to really pay extra attention to this and what we're creating. Now, it could well be that there's a situation from the past that comes back up again, and it was a situation that ended in the 10 of Swords, or your intuition is telling you that it will end in the 10 of Swords. Betrayal, being stabbed in the back multiple times, that kind of thing. But could it also be that you have a new opportunity coming in, but because you have a memory like an elephant and you never forget past betrayals and the like, you reject a new opportunity because you fear the same thing happening again. So, or you may not even be seeing an opportunity being presented to you because you've made up your mind that it's never worked in the past, whether it be a new relationship or a certain kind of job or situation that didn't work in the past, and you've more or less given up. You're apathetic now, can't be bothered. So just really pay a lot of attention to your thoughts and feelings now and into the future around these types of issues. Now, in the position number 4, this is the pattern or the set of life lessons that is moving through your life at the moment, Cancer. And we've got the Seven of Swords. Now this is the card of sneakiness. Someone who comes in and steals something from you. So it could be anything from self-esteem to stealing your trust, any other kind of feeling or emotion or virtue, or something material, an actual theft of property. But deception's involved. So the pattern that has been moving through your life has involved deception of some kind. And whether that be that you have yourself been deceptive, either lying to yourself and or other people or person doing this to you. The challenge that you have conquered, or the lesson that's just been completed, is seen in the Ten of Pentacles. So this is a card depicting family, can include family inheritance of some kind. Now when we say family inheritance of some kind, it's not always necessarily an inheritance because of a death and you've actually inherited money. It could be inheritance where you've inherited a business, you've inherited a child from a sibling, say, or a grandchild from one of your own children. Could be any kind of inheritance, usually related to the family. If not that, it's just a financial card, so to do with finances. And then in the sixth position, this is what is working for you. Now, this is a Page of Swords, and it's actually in the spread here next to the Seven of Swords. Now, those two cards can actually mean spying or being spied on. So, it could be that you have, because there's been deception and there's a lack of trust, you've resorted to spying on someone else, or the other way around. You've not been honest, you've been deceptive, and you've got someone else spying on you, working to get and uncover the truth. But the Page of Swords is actually in the position of what is working for you. So if you're being the one that has been doing some snooping around and sneaking around in order to see if someone is being honest and truthful towards you, then it is obviously paying off to be doing that. Now, in the 7th position, this is what's working against you, and it's the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups can be about messages. It can be about young people. It can be about romance. And it can be about gifting. And the feeling vibe here is that what's working against you, have you been buying into sweet talk? Or have you yourself been sweet talking other people to bring them around? Or trying to buy people, or people trying to buy you with gifts and buying into that? Maybe accepting apologies from people. Now, there's a difference between accepting an apology from someone who rightfully owes you one and then just jumping back into the relationship as it was before. So it's one thing to accept an apology, but taking someone back based on words of apology or because they're gifting you in some way may not be a wise decision and choice if that person has betrayed you in a big way, and if they have a pattern of lying and deception because they are an addict. Just remember that words are cheap. Buying people's affection is not really a great option. You know, you actually need correct behaviour to support any apologies. Now, in the event that someone is an addict, addicts are renowned for lying about everything. Their whole life can be a lie. And if they haven't actually, they can apologise all they like. And they can gift you all they like, do whatever they have to do to get you back. But if they have actually not sought professional help, and they haven't changed anything within their life and their circumstances, then they're just going to resort back to the same behaviour again and do the same thing. For an addict to truly break that addiction and that pattern, they have to remove themselves from the influences and the people that they've associated with, that they've been indulging that addiction with. Now, also, we want to think about the extent of when people are addicted, depending how far their addiction has gone. They're about ready to do anything it takes in order to get their drug or whatever the substance is, or money to gamble, or whatever it is. They'll go to any lengths to do that. And sometimes some of those things that they will do, because all morals and values go straight out the window, they're they could really lower themselves to the level of a gutter rat and do some really despicable crap to other people. So maybe you need to ask yourself, are you really willing to abide someone who is going to stoop so low and do whatever it takes to feed their addiction, and they'll be prepared, they make the choice every time they continue with that habit to destroy all of the relationships in their lives, destroy their whole life, their work, their careers, whatever, if the addiction is allowed to continue. And if you actually stay with someone who is an addict, then you're going to enable that addiction. No matter what, you're going to enable it. Far better to let someone cut people out of your life, no matter who they are, whether they're children, partners, whoever they are. Far better to cut them out of your life and actually enable them to hit rock bottom much sooner and faster, because only when they hit rock bottom will they actually find light within their darkness to admit defeat and seek help for their addiction. And it's the only way, that's going to be the only empowered way that we're going to help people to rise up to the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. No more, it's about tough love. We've got to get tough love. None of this unconditional love rubbish. That's the only unconditional love that you want to have is for yourself. But for people that have addictions and really negative behaviours and really negative patterns in their lives, the best thing that we can give them is tough love. And that concludes your reading for the beginning of February, Cancer. See you again in a few weeks' time. Scorpio, in your past position you have the Four of Cups. This is a card of apathy and boredom and rejection. 3 cups are standing there. Another one's being offered, but you're paying no attention to it. You're not even looking at it. So there's been some kind of opportunity that has passed you by. Of course, not always all opportunities are real opportunities. When we look deeper at them. Now, in your present position, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, so she's our most earthly material queen. So this is either someone who is quite earthly in their nature, either by sun sign being a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn person that could be in your life, or This represents you grounding yourself. And getting very grounded with finances perhaps, or just restabilizing yourself after that rejection, maybe. And in our future position, we've got the King of Swords. So with the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, this could indicate a couple, maybe, or they're not connected at all. And the King of Swords is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Someone who has a tongue like a silver sword, can be quite cutting sometimes in the deliverances of their messages. King of Swords can also have legal connotations, court, lawyers, that kind of thing. Or he's the purveyor of truth, likes to get to the truth of the matter of things. Now the pattern or the set of life lessons that is moving through your life right now, we've got the Ten of Swords. So this is an ending. There's been betrayal, a feeling of being stabbed in the back, or just the end of, complete end to a cycle. And the challenge that you have conquered, or the lesson that you have just completed, is the card of Seven of Cups. So this is about choice. It can also be about confusion, illusion, delusion, but choices. And if I remember your January reading, I do recall that you had someone new come into your life and it sort of ended before it had really gotten off the ground, or it could have been in connection to Venus going retrograde in your sign, and you might have had a past lover return. You might have even tried to get things back on track with them, but it didn't work out. So this is lightly still connected to that whole experience culminating, and still that energy lingering around. So with the challenge that you've conquered, or the lesson that you've just completed, it's overcoming any confusion that you might have had, illusions or delusions in regard to that person, and you'll come out the other side of that whole lesson. Now, what is working for you is depicted by the Nine of Wands. Rather a strange card to be working for you, because this is the wounded warrior. Well, it'd be working for you because you're actually in the healing process. You're going through the healing process now. from this whole situation. Now, when you are hanging in there, persevering under pressure and holding on despite the forces that are pulling at the other end of your rope, expect this card, the Nine of Wands, to appear in your reading. This card is either a welcome sign that you are truly holding your own in a long-term project, or that you are needlessly hanging on to a point of view that is past its time. Now, this is the rare tarot card that exists in three-dimensional space. What that means is that the man in the card may have those wands at his arsenal for battle, and the battle may be taking place outside of the card. Or the wounded man is leaving a world beyond the card and is only stopping for a moment of rest before battling to break beyond into the peaceful landscape deep within the card. So this tarot card reveals a pause without surrender in a battle that you will feel with persistence. And now, Scorpio, what is actually working against you is the Hermit. And that has a couple of meanings, the Hermit, but the energy that is bouncing out of this spread for me, have you been cotton wooling yourself because you're wounded because of what's happened? You've been isolating yourself, or if you've been isolating yourself, this is actually working against you. So you need to start getting out there and taking some action, doing something new, because depression could be setting in here. So let's not sit around licking the wounds for too long, Scorpio. Get back on that horse and get on back out there. Easier said than done, I know. But no good sitting around dwelling either. So this concludes your reading for this month, February, end of January, February. Scorpio, see you again in a few weeks' time. Pisces, you may be relieved to know that Chiron, the wounded healer, is gearing up to leave your sign right now. This is the pathway spread, and in your past position you have the Queen of Pentacles. Could represent an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. Either representing a earthly kind of person who's rather quite grounded, but could be interested in financial affairs, or it actually does have to do with finances. Could also represent aspects of yourself. Maybe you were focused on finances in the recent past and you were quite grounded about working out your finances. Now in the present position we got the Five of Swords, and this, whilst it's a card of victory, is usually a victory that's gained at the expense of another. So a possibility of wielding one's power over other people and driving them to defeat. Whether that's been done to you or you're doing that to others or another. Now in the future position, we've got the card of justice. So whatever you're putting out there, it's going to come back around, Pisces. So if this has been you gaining at the expense of others, the Justice card is really a card of karma, and it's going to come back, or you're going to receive justice after that has been done to you. Now, the pattern or the set of life lessons that is moving through your life at the moment, it's interesting because you've got the Chariot card, which is a card of movement. So the Chariot also is a card of victory too, so maybe there's going to be sweet justice here. Someone gets it up on you, but then in the end you're the victorious one. But remember, once again, it can go against you the other way if you're the one putting the bad crap out there. Now, the Chariot card can also represent travelling. So movement as in travelling kind of movement. So perhaps you have been broadening your worldly horizons with some travel. And then the challenge that you have conquered, or the lesson that you've just completed, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So this is generally a family card involving an inheritance. That inheritance isn't necessarily always an inheritance going through death of a loved one. It can be inheriting anything from the family, even wisdom. Or in this case, it could be related just outright to finances. And because we have the Queen of Pentacles here, then it could just be purely about financial challenges and lessons. Now, what's working for you, Pisces, is a partnership, either like a soulmate partnership or any kind of partnership, whether that be in business or friends or whatever. That's working for you. So maybe you're getting a lot of support at the moment from someone special and helpful in your life. And a partnership is doing really well for you right now. Now what's working against you is the Ace of Wands. So being an ace, this is new seeds being planted. And being wands, it's usually about projects, creative endeavours, something new that is put out there. So maybe if it's working against you at the moment, maybe right now isn't the time for planting just yet. So wait for the new moon. It'll be coming up in the early in the month of February. So maybe just waiting a little bit longer to start planting those new seeds. And maybe you need to rethink where you're actually planting those seeds of new beginnings. You might need a bit more time there to consider whether you're putting them in the right place. And that's your reading, Pisces, for the end of January, beginning weeks of February, and see you again in a few weeks' time. All the best. Bye now.